Time to do this.
Thank you.
You're I'm not quite sure where you are in the production, but you're directing a couple more episodes this season, right?
Yeah, those were first up. I did the first two out of 11.
Now, how difficult a process is it directing a show you're also part of and you know so well?
Well, luckily I do know it well, and that makes it easier. But I will say, you can be as prepared as you want to be as a director. You can have your shots lined up. You can have all your homework done, your storyboards and all of that, which I did again this year. And then that first day when you hit set and you try to talk, it's nearly impossible because it takes, being an actor takes a certain degree of focus. And when your head is spinning a million miles an hour, it takes a couple of days to ramp up to being able to do both. So, those first 2 days, I think I probably have a blank look on my face for these other poor actors to, act off of. But a couple days in, 3 days in, I'm rocking and rolling. And then the remaining sort of 2.5 weeks is pretty good.
Did it make it easier doing those episodes up front in the season where then it was over and you didn't have to think about it and you could get back to your quote normal relationship with the cast?
Yeah, it is easier to do it up front and get it out of the way because you're rested. The truth is, when I'm directing, I don't sleep very well. Just a lot of anxiety and sort of nervousness about all of it, and just coming up with ideas and thinking and having contingency plans and all these different things. So you come in fresh, so you're okay. You can make it through the 3 weeks because we do 2 episode blocks at a time. So I'm directing 2 episodes at the same time. So being fresh is great. And also you have the luxury of 3 weeks prior to that first day of filming to prep. Yeah. I wouldn't be able to do that if I was already into production and filming. I wouldn't be able to take those 3 weeks to cast people, to make artistic decisions, to choose locations and go and do scouts to find out which location would be ideal. So it's really the best scenario all around.
Now you've done this character for so long. Just as an actor, how do you deal with not, some actors complain, oh, I've done this thing for so long, I get stale, it's boring, and that doesn't appear to be the case with you. So how do you get past that part of it?
Well, I'm sure there have been days where I felt that way. I'm sure, let's be realistic. No one has a job that's perfect every day. And the truth is, this is a job. But, the highlights are pretty great. There have been some low points, in 14 seasons that we've had, relationship issues with, coworkers. You have, some people we lose along the way. We've had some people pass away. We had a situation where our show got canceled by the original network, and that was really disheartening because it seemed like we were doing well. And so a lot of good and bad, but I think the overriding thing about this all is that we're doing something really special here. 14 seasons is rare air, and we don't seem to be running out of steam as far as ideas. So the least I can do is show up and give 110%.
Having done a show this long, you get fans who are very invested in the show, invested in the characters. Oh, yeah. How challenging is that? Because, sometimes their perception of your character or what your character should be doing doesn't quite line up with what the show wants to do.
Yeah, we have to push boundaries. We have to do some episodes we do for ourselves. We don't do them for the fans. We've put out a couple of wild ones that we really enjoyed doing, from the creative all the way down to the day that it rolls out of the editing suite. And we've got to do some for us as well. And there was some reactions, but we're going to go back to what makes the show what it is. We will. We can't stray away from that ideal formula and tone and so on. So is it going to always be exactly what the fans want? I don't know. Is it always going to be fun? Sometimes it's like, oh, okay, wow, somebody lost a baby. It's like, yeah, it's going to be a tough day at work today. who knows?
Yeah, just to sort of wrap this up, this last season ended. I don't know if you call it a cliffhanger exactly, but there were some threads of stories that were left hanging out there. When you go into a new season, do you know much of what's going to happen or what your character's going to do, and do you want to know?
Well, it's a tough thing because we can all talk about it, behind closed doors and discuss, well, potentially, if we were to come back next year, here's the idea to resolve this, and here's what we want to carry over. But we don't really always know if we are coming back. So it's tough to write cliffhangers. Well, what if something happens and we don't come back? What are we leaving the audience with? But for the most part, I think we've done a pretty good job of leaving cliffhangers that are tasty and certainly bring the audience back. And I think this year, sorry to say it, this year it's going to leave you literally hanging a lot.
Well, that seems like a good place to wrap it up. Thanks a lot for your time. I appreciate you talking to me.
Thank you.
Thanks.